Has the market crashed? Well, prices have definitely cooled down in the month of December, but they're still reasonably higher than the previous months. I have the stats for November, and normally during the winter season, prices tend to cool off a bit. However, this year, we're observing some interesting facts. Let me share with you why. Unlike most real estate cycles where the prices tend to cool off a bit in the winter months, this year we're noticing something different where the prices are actually on an incline. This is Sid Chandra from the Chandra Real Estate Group, your resource for helpful tips, tricks, and trends in the real estate market. If you haven't already and you'd like a buyer, seller, consultation, or simply want to have a real estate conversation, feel free to book a call with me on the link below, and I'll be happy to have a one-on-one consultation with you to explore your goals in the coming future. So let's jump into the numbers. Looking at this chart on your screen, we can see the average sales, active listings, months of inventory, average price, and days on market, as always. The sales dictate how much volume there's being generated every month in real estate. Active listings tell us how many listings are currently on the market for buyers to purchase. Months of inventory really tell us the strength of the market because it tells us how quickly homes are selling once they're up on the market. Average price is pretty self-explanatory. And we have days on market, which tells us, again, the strength of the market because it tells us how long a home takes to sell in the current market. So when we look at this chart, it's nice because now we see the numbers for the entire year. Starting out in Jan, we started slow, and then approaching the spring market, this is a trend that's been the case for many years. In the spring months, we always see a hike in sales, in prices, but then as we approach the summer months, things start to cool down a little bit. And what's interesting is when people return from their vacations, prices just jump up again, and so do the sales, which is why we saw a low amount of sales happen from the months of July to September when people were out vacationing, enjoying the weather, and when they returned in October back to reality and back to school, they started to think about their home and real estate purchases. As we approach the months of November and December, they tend to be cooler, as mentioned earlier, and that's reflective of the sales in November. Moving on to active listings, we started slow again in Jan and Feb, which is likely going to be the case next year. And as we approach spring again, things started to pick up. What's interesting is that we have less listings in November compared to October, in fact, compared to the entire year. And that is why we have a lower amount of months of inventory and our average price is higher. Just think about it this way. If we have less listings on the market and so many buyers, it's obvious that the average price is going to shoot up because now there's a huge demand. There's more demand than there is supply. And that is exactly why we're seeing a hike in average price, and there are lower days on market than the previous months. Here's what's interesting, folks. These numbers show you exactly what the market looks like with low amount of sales, with high amount of sales, mediocre amount of sales, to give you an idea that whether we have high amount of listings or low amount of listings, the average price is still going up. So it's safe to say that we're on an incline with our average prices. Is it going to continue to appreciate at the rate it is now? Probably not, because it doesn't look like that would be sustainable. However, I still think even with the interest rate hikes, there will be an increase in average prices, but just not at the rate that it has been over the last months or even year or so. Moving on, looking at the average prices, it's interesting to see that in November 2020, we thought we had hit an all-time high with the average prices, but in comparison to 2021, we've seen significant growth in all asset classes. Is this sustainable? Again, folks, I don't think so. But if the inventory continues to stay low and the demand is high, there is no way that the prices are going to drop in any way. Now, here's an interesting observation. The average price of a detached home is currently at 1.56 million versus the average price of a condo is 715,000. Guess what that means? You guessed it right. The condo market has a lot of potential for growth in the coming months. If the price difference between the detached homes and condo market exceeds $1 million, I do predict seeing a drastic jump in the condo prices, and that will likely be the case in 2022, so buy condos if you can. Moving on, looking at the 5-year historical data of the real estate market, here's what's interesting. Looking at the average prices in 2017 compared to 2019, we didn't see a significant growth in prices. However, as we approached 2021, from 2019 onwards, there has been some significant jump in prices. And here's why. In 2017, the government slapped a foreign buyer's tax implication, which put a strain in many buyers' buying power. However, in 2019, when we adjusted to this change, the prices started to shoot up again. This is what I gather from this information, that even in the coming months or years, if the government puts another strain in the buying power of our current buyers, I think the market will adjust over time and shoot up again, because we just don't have enough homes for the amount of buyers we currently have. This is why I always advise my clients to invest in real estate, because it's an essential asset and at some point everyone needs it in their lives. It's a lot more safer than many other investments like stocks and cryptocurrency, where the market is extremely volatile and there is no assurance of whether there will be use of it in the coming years. I'm not bashing any other industries, but I'm just outlining how safe investing in real estate is, especially for your hard-earned money. Although the stats I shared with you didn't show the month of December, they will come out in January. However, because I'm in the field buying and selling for clients, I can tell you that the month of December is a bit of a slower month, which is evident in the last many years. And we're seeing a lot better deals in the market than we were before. So if you're thinking of buying, it couldn't be a better time to buy in this month than to wait till Jan and Feb when the prices shoot back up again. You'll thank me later. I hope you found this information helpful. If you are thinking of buying, selling, or having a real estate conversation with me, feel free to call me on the number below or book a call with me so we can have a one-on-one conversation about your real estate goals. Remember, we provide results that move you.